Hello, welcome to the Lazy Cave Farmstead. It's a rainy morning outside, so we're going to work inside today. We're going to make some chicken and spaghetti. Now, the chicken is already cooking on the stove. Got it started early this morning. And now I'm going to start prepping some of the other stuff. So first, I'm going to cut up some good old American processed cheese. I'm going to put it in big stock pot here. And once the chicken is off of the stove, I'll put this on there. I've got my big stock pots on there, so I can't fit any more on the burner. So let's get this cubed up and into the pot. This chicken and spaghetti recipe is one that I came across years ago, and have been making it either in a one-pan batch or in a mega batch like this is going to be for 20 years or more. Simple ingredients. If you make it really creamy, it's the best. It freezes great. That's what these are. This is a big batch of freezer meals that I'm making. Pull it out. Stick it straight into the oven. 375 for about an hour or so for a big pan. 45 minutes or so for a smaller pan. And you have got yourself a great main dish for your whole dinner. Sometimes I'll add French bread, garlic French bread, green beans, anything your family likes as a side item, or nothing at all. Sometimes when we're tired and just need a hot meal, a big bowl of this, maybe some saltine crackers, and we are happy campers. So since this is a big batch, I'm going to be cutting up 2 blocks of our favorite cheese here. And this recipe, I think, is going to make about 4 large pans and 4 smaller pans. The large pans will feed 6 to 8 folks, depending on how hungry everyone is. The small pan, 2 to 3. The small pans are great if it's just you, your spouse, you and a child, just a couple of you. It's great if it's you by yourself, and you'll have plenty of leftovers for the next day. So pretty versatile, really yummy. Right, now that I have it all chopped up, I'm going to add about a cup of milk or so. This just kind of gets it started, kind of keeps it from burning to the bottom of the pan. And I'll keep stirring it as this melts, and if I feel like I need to add a little more, I can. So you can always add it, but you can't take it out. We started the morning by filling 2 big stock pots about half full of water, and then to each one we added our chicken, an onion, salt and pepper, and we've had those cooking now for a little while, and they are looking great. So we've made good broth. We're going to use it. So we're going to get these drained. We're going to let the tenders finish cooking, get them drained. We'll come back and get the spaghetti cooking. All right, so our chicken has been cooling for about 10 minutes or so. Should be cool enough that we can handle it some. And what we're going to do, and it's trying to fall apart, what we're going to do is we're going to chop it into chunks like the other pot of chicken's already in chunks for some reason. This we're going to chop into chunks, and we're going to put it all in our big bowl. This is a great big mixing bowl that we have used and used and used for everything. It's great during canning season, so there's no telling what all that's been in it. I've got the broth on the stove. I've got it coming back up to a boil. So as soon as we get through cutting up our chicken here, we'll be ready to cook spaghetti. All right, so our pots are boiling pretty good. We're going to keep them put on a pretty high heat because we're going to add a lot of spaghetti. I have 5 pounds total of spaghetti. I'm going to put 3 pounds in the bigger one, 2 pounds in the smaller one because the smaller one is a little bit bigger. I'm sorry, the smaller one is a little bit smaller. Makes total sense to me. So I'm going to start with the big one. I'm going to take out some spaghetti. I like to break my spaghetti in half. I've always done it that way. I don't know why, but I have. I'm going to stay with these. Stir them every so often so it doesn't stick. We'll get them drained and added to our big bowl of chicken. See you in a bit. All right, we've got all the chicken chopped up. We've got the spaghetti in the bowl. We put half of it in there, and we're going to wait till we get all the other ingredients in there and then put that on top of it and mix it all up well. So the next thing we're going to do is mix up our sauce. The cheese is on the stove melting, so we'll get to that part last. I have reserved one container, and this is about 1.5 quarts, 7 cups it says, of the stock before I poured it off of one of the pots of spaghetti. So this makes an excellent way to add more flavor, kind of thin this down a little bit and get it to the consistency that we want. So for this big batch, I'm adding 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup right into my container here. These I have several different sizes of these. I get them from a local restaurant supply, and they are fabulous for mixing up anything. I use them a lot in the summer for making relish because you can salt it down and let it sit for a while in the fridge. They fit perfectly on my shelves. So if you have the opportunity to find some of these, get you 2 or 3 or 4. They come in very handy. So another thing of mushroom soup. Oh, that just slid right off. Sorry, making a mess with my garbage can over here. Cream of chicken, 2 big cans of cream of chicken. Then I have 4 cans of the diced tomatoes with green chilies. Put those in. This is just the Walmart version of the name brand. Happened to be right on the shelf where I could find it yesterday. We can get all this mixed up. And I had a whisk out here if I needed that. I think I will use my whisk and get something to lay this on. Don't mind my messy cabinet. Alright, so whisk this up. Now this is really thick. Now I'm going to want really creamy to go over all of that. Remember, we've still got to put cheese in here, and that'll add some creaminess too. But I'm going to add about half of this. Stir it up. You may think it's a little too much liquid. It's not. These are going to go in the freezer. They're going to kind of absorb some of that liquid. Some of it's going to kind of, you know, mesh right into it. And by the time you get it out of the fridge, into the oven and onto your plate, it'll be perfect. All right. So this is all ready. Check on the cheese. As soon as we get it all ready, we'll mix it all together. I'm going to take my pans and I'm going to spray them with a little non-stick spray. Sometimes if you don't, they'll burn to the pan, and well, sometimes that is good stuff. It's not always good stuff. So I'm going to spray each of these pans that you get ready to fill up and just set them to the side. 4 big ones, 4 little ones, which I think is about what this recipe is. We'll see if my calculating was near correct. No promises. All right, we are getting to the finish line. Got my big bowl of half the spaghetti, or I think this was the 2 pounds. We've got all our chicken in here. Cheese is melted. It did start to stick just a little, so I added about another cup of milk. Just makes it creamier. Nothing wrong with that. So we're going to pour that in. We're going to pour our soups and tomatoes in. Stir that good. Then put the other spaghetti in. Get it all mixed, and then we're ready to scoop. So this is our cheese. I would argue there is nothing better than melted this cheese. All right, put this in the sink. All right, so there's our cheese. Oh my goodness gracious. Now let's see how much of this we can get in. We have a problem. I don't think we're going to get all that is spaghetti in this pot. Well, this is what we do. We get ourselves in a jam, then we're going to have to improvise. Which really just means we're going to mix it in 2 separate pots when we get to that point. But this first. Oh, smell it. So good. So good. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the other spaghetti back into one of the pots. I'm going to scoop some of this goodness over into that pot. We'll get them both all mixed up, and then we'll go from there. Use my ladle here. This is also a spoon I got at the restaurant supply store. You just have so many cool things, especially when you cook in bulk, when you cook for a large family. When you do a big day of cooking like this, so many of these restaurant size things come in handy. All right, big stir, big stir. So this one just has spaghetti in it, so I want to make sure that I have got a good bit of the sauce and of chicken chunks, so that both bowls are equally as yummy. Marvelous. All right. this one, shut this one up. Let's use a spoon. This one is a little bit juicier than that one. So I'm going to take my spoon. Scoop a little more. I want everything saturated with goodness. All right, got my pans all ready. The ones we spread a little earlier. 4 of these. I'm going to use my portion spoon here. Let's do 1. 2. 3. 2.5. Remember, I still got to put some cheese, and I still got to put a lid on it. There we go. 2.5. Perfect amount. I'm going to put cheddar cheese on top of each one. There's those. I'm going to swap spots with my empty ones, and we'll fill the big pans. Two, 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. I'm going to add that other pan to this. One, 2, 3. Uh-oh. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. All right, that's our 4 and 4 pans with some left over, which is fabulous because we have grandkids coming over this weekend and we will wipe this out in no time. So I'm going to go find a little bit bigger pan to put this in, and then we'll put cheese on all of these. I'm going to make some labels and then we'll get them wrapped up. There we go. So there we have it. 4 servings of 2 to 3 people, 4 servings of 6 to 8 people, and 1 serving for my grandkids. So I'm going to go make some labels, and then we'll get these all packaged up. All right, time to get these puppies wrapped up and in the freezer. I have made some labels. I have a little label maker that I bought just on Amazon. I bought it because I was writing so much on my jars that I thought there must be an easier way to do this. So got several different size labels. On this one, this is a 4x6 label. Download the software. It's easy as pie to do. If I can do it, anybody can do it. On my little pans here, I have sheets that come with them to put over them. I'm going to label each one of those. Each label tells you what is in the package, how to cook it, the ingredients that are in it, keep it frozen until you get ready to use it, and the best by date. And on my frozen meals, I find that they're best if used within 6 months. We usually use all of ours with a much shorter period of time there, but after 6 months, I think the flavor really starts to fade. So I always like to say use these within 6 months of putting them in the freezer. So I'm going to label these for all right. Way. Go get the other ones. Now I like to seal my packages the way with the little mechanism they have here. You just fold the little edges over. And these come with white side and a full side. I like to put the full side down. I find it doesn't stick as much when I'm trying to take it off. So now I've got this wrapped up, and I'm going to wrap this in plastic wrap. I think that keeps it a little fresher, keeps frostbite at bay for a little longer. And the way I do these is I just wrap it around a couple times that way. Then I'll wrap it around a couple times the other way. Just rotate it around. And at least one time going the other direction. I get all my bases covered that way. There we go. Roll it over. Sometimes it ends up on the bottom and you can see the label a little better, but you can still see through the wrap, see what it is, and how you're going to prepare it. So I'm going to set this to the side and do the other 3. Alright, as far as the big pans go, the big pan here, have some more labels. I wrap these, they do make these full pans that come with a cover for their catering pans. I'm out of those at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it with heavy duty foil. If I were using regular foil, I would double it, but heavy duty foil, one layer of it does well. And then of course I'm going to wrap it. Heavy duty foil, wrap it really nice and tight. So I've got that wrapped really nice and tight around all the edges. Put my label on. And cover it with plastic. And there we go, all nice and tight, ready for the freezer. I'm going to finish doing these so I can get them all in there. I hope you've enjoyed watching today. I always love making chicken spaghetti. I've always felt like it was my mission to feed people, and somehow chicken spaghetti makes everybody feel great. So I'm going to put this in the freezer, so we'll have these available. And I will put a recipe down in the description for one pan. So if you want to make just one batch for your family, easy to do. And I'll give you the directions there. So have a great day. We'll see you next time.